Honor and respect from Kruse's Krew. This is PHTV out of Palos Heights. My name's Jim Kruse. I'm an Army veteran. Served from 67 to 70. Deployed in Korea 68 to 69. Returned home in January of 1970. I work with a group called Kruse's Krew, and we send care packages to our deployed troops overseas. We have developed this program on this TV to allow veterans and non-veterans to access more knowledge about what the military does and what military life is like. We're also going to allow organizations to come on that will be helping vets and troops in the future. I'd like to start out this program with a remembrance. 79 years ago today, thousands of Americans landed on Normandy Beach. Hundreds were killed. A couple of weeks ago was Memorial Day. I'd like the people of this country to continue to remember all the men and women who have given their lives, the buddies that we had and the families that did not come home. It's going to be one of our jobs to ensure that you remember that forever. My guest today is an Army veteran of 27 years. She's going to give us a perspective on what the women who serve in the Army have like. I'd like to honor Master Sergeant Christine Jetsemski. She's a Palos Hills resident, and she's deployed overseas. Could you give us, and she's going to give us some insight on what women do when they serve in the military. Can I call you Christine?
You sure can.
Thank you, Christine. I'd like to ask you some questions.
Sure.
When did you join the Army?
Well, first of all, I want to say it's an honor and a privilege to be able to get on this medium and share our experiences. I joined the Army on March the 12th, 1990, by taking an oath and signing a contract with the United States Army to serve and protect my country. And by the way, the Army's birthday is the same as my birthday, which falls on Flag Day, June the 14th.
Soldier through and through, huh?
Yep.
Why did you choose to enlist in the Army?
I chose the Army because my dad, my father, was military. My oldest brother was military, and I felt like serving the military was like an honorable obligation that I wanted to fulfill in my lifetime.
All right. Where did you go to basic, and what were the challenges you faced in the basic?
Well, after I turned 33 years old, after my birthday, one day after my birthday, I said, I'll go in, but it's got to be after my birthday. After 33 years of being on this earth, I left home and went to basic training to Fort Dix, New Jersey. When I look back at basic training days, all I could think of was, I'm nearly twice as old as these people, these young recruits. How am I going to do this? Challenges were really many. Physical training was tough, and I hated to run. I always would be at the back of the formation, struggling to keep up with my peers, because I was so slow.
Where did you go to Advanced Individual Training? That's AIT, that's military talk.
Military talk is, like you said, AIT. I went to DINFOS. DINFOS is the Defense Information School that was in Indianapolis, Indiana, which was considered the Harvard of the military. Why? Because the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, and Coast Guard all attended the course together, and it was considered a real elite institution.
What is your MOS, your military occupation?
I was able to get 2 military occupation specialties. One was a 46 Romeo, which is a broadcast journalist, and the other was a 46 Quebec, which is a photojournalist.
What was your training like there?
Oh, the training. It was intense. All I could say, 12 weeks of classroom training, including being in the field with hands-on training on how to operate video cameras, programs with being a disc jockey on the radio. We were graded on 150 different aspects and attributes of being in the broadcasting field. And if you failed just one out of those 150 areas, you failed for the whole day. So it was a very intense, needless to say, class. And we participated in live-to-tape television newscasts. And we learned how to anchor, like I'm kind of doing now, doing the control room operations, directing, and being a camera person.
Kind of Good Morning Vietnam, huh?
Amen.
Where did you go during the service, during your hitch?
I was mobilized for 2 years at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, to support Operation Enduring Freedom during the Gulf War. It was definitely a God-sent miracle with all my years of service, because I was never deployed in the number of years I served, which is truly a miracle in itself.
A combat.
I call it a God thing.
And you deployed overseas, I know. Where did you deploy to?
I went to Germany twice in support of returning to forces to Germany, which was conducted by NATO. And the other operation I was involved with was in Thailand in support of Cobra Gold.
What was it like being away from home when you deployed over to a foreign country?
All I remember was when I returned home, all I wanted to do was kiss the ground, because we are so blessed to have the freedom that we have. We don't realize how fortunate we are when we have the freedom we experience every day.
I noticed you got promoted quite a bit. What was the interesting parts of that?
Well, just wearing the stripes with pride and the responsibility that came along with that rank.
Now, I'm sure you oversaw both men and women. What were the challenges dealing with both of them?
I really didn't see it as a challenge, because we pretty much exercised equal employment opportunities. So you didn't treat the men any different than the women. The women had to do just as much as the men did. So I didn't see a difference with that.
Yeah, learned basically women in combat now. They're a good part of our military. Now, you know you're involved in different organizations now that you're out of the military. What organizations are you in?
I've been a member with the American Legion for 28 years now. I held a position as a chaplain, and I'm active now with the Veterans Voices in Orland Park, Illinois.
What do those groups do?
Well, the American Legion holds monthly meetings to maintain camaraderie amongst the veterans, as well as we support the Illinois Veterans Mantino Home. We also support Hines VA Hospital, just to name a few. And we provide like personal amenities to the vets. We provide various events like burgers and bikes, so they get to see and touch the bikes that the veterans have. And it's a good motivator. We play bingo with them throughout the year. We visit the local nursing homes during the holidays and sometimes on the side. In both of these organizations, our goals are that we remember our Pledge of Allegiance, because it's being pushed under the carpet, and we have to remember there's one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not some, but for all. And also, we also always want to encourage the veterans to know that their service, your service, was always appreciated, and you'll never be forgotten.
Well, I want to thank you for your military service and working with these outside organizations, and above all, for coming on the show. And you're right. Anybody who raised their right hand and swore they'd give their life, no matter National Guard, Reserve, or active military, you're heroes. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
I'm going to go and do something right now that I'm going to hold on the show constantly. It's going to be called Mail Call. When we send the care packages to our military, we're also sending, and we've done this for 20 years, we get responses from the military, and I think maybe you should like to hear some of the responses that we get, and I will read one of these letters at every one of these shows. Dear James, greetings from Poland. We hope you and your fabulous team have a wonderful Easter weekend. A great big thank you to Ewan for some of the finest care packages we've ever received. We are grateful for every care package we receive, but once in a while, we'll receive a care package that's just above and beyond the norm, which is exactly what yours were. The canned goods, the freeze-dried fruit, a big hit. The microwavable dinners, amazing. Popcorn, brilliant. And the beef jerky, always a big hit. They were very much appreciated by all. The comments coming from our Joes were those of gratitude and astonishment, which were all the more heartfelt as others remarked that many of the items were not inexpensive. This has definitely spoiled the Joes, and for that, they are very thankful. On top of that, the Easter decorations contained within were perfect. Everything came just in time for Easter celebrations. Great timing. Thank you for bringing a little bit of America to us and helping us to make Easter all that more special. You were all a part of it. Thank you for transforming the intangibles into tangibles, for making all the thank yous and the we support yous something many of us here can see, touch, taste, and remember. I guarantee you that you have planted seeds into the hearts of some of these Joes here who will carry this on into the future and repeat the same kindness and generosity shown to them. On behalf of the 446th Movement Control Battalion, thank you. Many blessings to you and the kindness of regards. Carlito Shermer, Chaplain. I'll read one of these letters every month. I should have some deployed servicemen and women that you have over there send us an email. We are putting an email out where you can give us the addresses of those deployed men and women. We will send you care packages. I also have other groups that do the same thing, sending those care packages. So we will take good care of you. Also, if you have any questions, the email will be on this so you can send it to me. I'd be glad to answer it in the next show. One last thing is if you send us those email addresses, when they come home, let us know. Because it costs about $20.75 to send a box. And I hate seeing them come back on my doorstep when I could be sending them to another unit. Thank you all for who saw the show today. We will be doing a show every month here on PHTV4, interviewing veterans and organizations that can help the veterans and I think help you also. I thank you for watching and hope to welcome you back next month. As always, honor and respect.